Hey guys, Krusop here, coming in with another One Piece chapter review. Today's chapter is chapter 899, and we have a pretty good setup chapter here on our hands today. So essentially the chapter was broken into two different parts, kind of half and half. The first part was really focusing on Big Mom, getting her the cake and what it's going to do to her, and the second part was focusing on the Big Mom pirates chasing after the Strawhats, and also Germa kind of intercepting them and trying to help the Strawhats out. So anyway, let's get started. We have Montour on the Denden Mushi talking to Perospero, and we find out that Perospero is kind of weakening. He's been infected. Oh my god, he's been bitten by a wild mink! This boy's got rabies! No, that's not how it happened. But yeah, anyway, it's kind of interesting that they would draw attention to that detail about his arm being infected. I don't know if there's going to be any significance to that or not, but I guess that we'll just have to find out. And then Montour realizes that Big News Morgans and Stussy are gone. So he's really worried about that. He's like, we especially can't let the world know how the Big Mom pirates have screwed up today, so we absolutely must catch Big News Morgans. We get to see three scenarios that Perospero puts forward for what will happen when Big Mom eats the cake. So number one is that she eats it, it's poisoned, and she dies. And then the Big Mom pirates will collapse without having a leader. That's what he says, scenario number one. Scenario number two, she eats it, the poison doesn't affect her, but she continues going on a rampage and destroys Whole Cake Island, so that's bad. And then scenario three is where she likes the taste and the poison doesn't work on her and she stops raging. So he says that the fate of the Big Mom pirates actually is solely swinging on how well this cake tastes, which is you know, pretty big compliment to Sanji, I guess you could say. But we get to see some cutscenes, and what's really interesting is some of the normal citizens of Whole Cake Island and the surrounding Big Mom territories, they are starting to really question their decision of living here. They're like, yeah, we paid with lifespan to live in a place that's protected by a Yonko, and now this Yonko is the one that's actually destroying the island, that's putting us in danger, you know? So it honestly provides another possible consequence at the end of the arc, where you can have non-family citizens just leaving Big Mom's territory, and then that could kind of you know, destroy the economy of Whole Cake Island if enough of these, like, you know, random non-Big Mom pirates leave. I don't think that this huge area can be self-sustained. But anyway, we get to see some different islands where the chefs are like, yeah, we don't have enough time to recreate this cake, we're screwed. So we get to see Chiffon and Beige heading with the cake towards Puff's island, and then you see this woman wearing a cat suit, looking straight up like Wilfred's girlfriend, if you get the reference, and she's basically complaining like, Chiffon, why did you lead Big Mom to this island? She's gonna kill us all. And she's like, I have complete faith in this cake. Sanji's a better cook than anybody on the island, pretty much. So that was another really big compliment to Sanji, and that was cool. And Big Mom just lands right in front of the cake, so we don't get to see her eat it, but that will probably happen in the next chapter, or maybe if there's some other hype shit going on, we'll get to see it in the subsequent chapter after that. As I mentioned, the chapter was kind of broken into two parts. The second part, you get to see the Sunny, and the whole sail is like burnt, and the Sunny doesn't look in that good of shape, to be honest. So there are obviously some repercussions of being chased by Big Mom for like 20 chapters. Let's be real. But yeah, they're talking to Luffy. They're saying like that they're glad that he's okay, but Chopper's got to heal him up because he can't lose any more blood. And Chopper notices that Sanji's actually been shot, and I don't know when that happened. But anyway, we have Smoothie, who is about to attack the Sunny. And let me tell you guys something. Smoothie, here's what I think about Smoothie. She only really has one face. She's bossy. But anyway, right when Smoothie's attack is about to hit the ship, or she's getting closer, another explosion happens right next to her, and it's Judge Vinsmoke. And she's like, damn it, Judge. And then we see something really interesting happening, which is Judge asking Luffy like why he would go so far to save Sanji. He's like, you risk your life going into Whole Cake Island where you probably could never make it out again, and Sanji cannot use the exoskeleton powers. He's Germa's failure. All he cares about is cooking. He doesn't, give a shit about his royal bloodline, and he's too impacted by human emotion, so he can't be a soldier. Why would you go so far for this man? And then Luffy's just like, thanks, and he pieces it. And then Judge is like, answer me, Straw Hat. And then in the next panel, Luffy's like, wow, that was surprising. Your dad was saying some really kind things about you. So this could be going way too far out there, honestly. I don't know, but I'm just gonna throw it out there because a couple chapters ago, we learned that in terms of observation haki, Luffy is really good at actually sensing the emotions of other people and creatures. So I honestly think that what Judge is saying is not accurately reflecting his feelings in the scene, and that's why Luffy reacted the way he did. He could just be, being a dumbass like he usually does in some of these situations, but I think that Judge is asking these questions to Luffy because he's starting to care what happens to Sanji, and he's trying to justify those feelings with a concrete explanation from somebody who he probably honestly respects Luffy because, he defeated Katakuri and whatnot, and he has, other feats under his belt, even if Judge doesn't know about that yet. But honestly, yeah, I think that Judge is trying to kind of figure out, why he might be experiencing some kind of emotional attachment to Sanji at this point. I don't know. I could be going out on a limb here, but that's just the way that I read into it. So Nami is now kind of in shock and fear because she realized that a fleet of ships is coming from their front, and they actually went around Whole Cake Island and pincered the Straw Hats. And Daifuku and Smoothie seem to get a bit of a confidence boost from this, and Daifuku actually jumps on the ship to attack Carrot, and then your boy Sanji kicks the genie's weapon aside, the glaive or whatever you want to call it, and you get to see how huge Daifuku's genie is, which is approximately 80% of the size of the Sunny. It's really big. And he says to Smoothie that now we're finally in range where this attack will work. And you see him rubbing his belly, and the genie's kind of coming out of his belly button. So it seems like that's a requirement, that the genie has to be physically attached to him through this belly button smoke the entire time. And finally, the fleet is really closing in on the Straw Hats, and Jinbei's like, we're done. And then your boy Wadatsumi, the sea giant, just pops out of the sea and is like, don't mess with Boss Jinbei. And Jinbei and Watatsumi are boys because Watatsumi helped him, you know, find the poneglyph and the cover story and whatnot. And yeah, they say that there's going to be a special cover page for chapter 900, and it's just pretty exciting, honestly. I like the little surprise at the end, even though it might have gotten slightly spoiled for me, but that's just because of, you know, my observation hockey. But anyway, I thought it was a pretty good chapter, especially in terms of setting things up, and, you know, I'm kind of curious about if anything's gonna come of the infection in Perospero's arm. I also want to know, like, if Judge and Sanji are actually going to have some kind of a resolution, because Judge is clearly, he's a confused man right now, I think. He doesn't know what to think. And yeah, I like this chapter. It didn't have as much fighting as some of the previous chapters, but hey, I like the dialogue. So anyway, I'm really excited for chapter 900 next week. Hopefully I'll be dropping another video tonight, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, this has been Krusop. Please like my video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel for more content, and I'll see you next time.